In the early days of my involvement with KDHX, I went to all the NFCB conferences, and that opened up to me a whole world of other people like myself who were engaged in radio that I frankly hadn't really planned to do. It kind of dropped in my lap, but it was very cool. And it was out there. I mean, there was like the Mohawk Nation station that had its transmitter in Canada and its studio in the US or vice versa, and it wasn't licensed in either country, and was broadcasting in a milieu when the native people that were trying to do that were trying to get their message out, and they were being really repressed. It brought people into the capability of communicating and reaching audience and having an influence in their community, like my little 1 hour a week of conversations about the environment.
NFCB is an organization that is decades old, that has a legacy and a very distinct and unique mission that goes back to its founders, that had a unique orientation and a commitment to local citizens.
First of all, when you go back and read the founding documents of NFCB, it's pretty, it's a pretty traditional organization in a lot of ways. It was around trying to clear a legal framework for community radio, share information on regulations and what was happening at a national level. And the third thing I thought was so fascinating to read about was the importance of content and program sharing, much like what PRX is doing, but that was at the core of one of the 3 or 4 principles around NFCB was founded. All of those things are still very valuable.
NFCB provides services that advance public media organizations so that they can best serve their communities. We provide expertise, inspiration, tools, and a platform for discussion on our listserv, as well as an array of practical and informative events, such as webinars, regional summits, and a national conference.
The NFCB is like the dinner table. You know, it's where this family of stations gathers to share stories of what we do. And it also empowers us to do very good work in our communities when we go home, through its training, its mentorship, and its ability to connect us with others who are doing good work. You know, it allows us to do our jobs better, and to keep our industry well supported financially.
One of the things I love about being a board member for NFCB is the commitment to diversity, not only on the board, but also throughout the organization. The diversity in NFCB is probably among the largest of a community broadcaster organization. I mean, we represent stations small and large and everything in between, from Latino to African American to Native American stations. Diversity can take on a lot of different meanings. It's a very big word, but at its core, it's really just about having other people at the table. And so that's one of the really important things that community media needs, and that's one of the ways that NFCB can really shine.
There are other places where we can stay informed about what's going on in the world, or at the national or regional level. But there are increasingly fewer places that really talk about what's going on in the town where I live, in the place where I go out the door every day. And that's a niche that only community radio can serve.
You know, radio's future is up to radio to figure out. We live in an era of big media, big companies, and they do tend to dominate and drive and frame conversations. The really great value of community media and a way to think really big is A, we have a role to play in also reframing discussions and sound and ideas. And we can do it in a way that the big boys can't.
Those who have worked for their careers to build a local, hyper-local connection, a human connection to the people living in the far corners of their local communities, to bring them, use technology to bring forward lives, to illuminate those things that bind us. It's a moment of unprecedented opportunity for community radio stations, for independent producers, and for all of us who are committed to a new public broadcasting that truly serves all of America.
I am so thrilled that the National Federation of Community Broadcasters is a phoenix, and there are new energies, there's mature leadership, there's young energy. Being able to interact with people who come from many different kinds of backgrounds, share our resources, share our problem solving, help ourselves grow and continue to be part of that reality. It's wonderful that NFCB is in this position and continuing. Go NFCB.